Well, crazy. They looked phenomenal on Dust 2. They could not be stopped. And now we head into the realm of Nuke, the map pick of SJ. They have to try and erect some sort of defense here.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. That much is clear. But what does work in their favor that we've already talked about is the map, right? This is one that Crazy don't play. This is one that SJ have proved to be profitable on time and time again. And maybe that can work in their favor. But when you just look at the individuals, when you look at those head-to-heads, think about the entries Emmy was getting back on Dust 2. Think about the rounds that Esperanto would have, pushing through smokes. Otto was winning his duels when he was given duels, which wasn't often considering how everyone was often dead before he even got into the site. And I just bumped into Neil on my way back from the toilet as well. And he just turns to me and he says how he's looking to get me and you out of here early. He wants to make our broadcast nice and short,
what a guy.
Nice and sweet. And that's always nice to see, but I do want a third map for this series. I want to go the distance, Harry.
Well, hopefully Neil can provide that. Hopefully he's listening and he's telling the guys, all right, gents, you know what, pressure's off.
Lay it off for him, guys. Give him a break, give him a chance.
But I don't know if that's going to happen in the server. We'll have to wait and see. SJ, as you say, they've been looking good on this map, right? This is where it's not uncommon to see, you know, I'm looking really at Sadix and Yampi. Another man, actually. I was going to say Arvid.
Yeah.
Back on Nuke, when we saw them play this on day one, he was one of the key players to be stepping up, and that continued on Dust 2. The rounds that they were able to get, a lot of the time coming off of his back.
Yeah, I mean, that has to continue, right? Everyone's got to step up here for the side of SJ. There's no other way really to put it coming into this series. It is going to just come down to these individuals. Obviously, you've got the map favor, but if you're not winning your duels, then, well, you're going home. And that's the tough and harsh reality of this matchup right now. Crazy, a map away from the playoffs, and SJ, a map away from a flight back to Finland.
Yeah, at least it's only a short flight, right?
Wow.
I mean,
really drawing the positives.
With how this is looking, I mean, I would love it if we had even more to go off of, but I think it's just the fact that you look at the achievements these guys have had, and pound for pound, Crazy have just done more. They've seen more. They've been around the block as this squad, and you know, even with having to make some alterations after losing 2 of their stars, right? And even then, you know, I don't know if you've seen that interview with Esperanto where he says how they lost all their firepower with Nexter and Hunter leaving this roster.
Yeah.
I think, you know, they're making up for that now. It's a very, very different feeling Crazy, but playing a similar sort of style. But instead, we're now looking at Esperanto. Emmy as well, apparently, is one of the stars after he has a stellar game back on Dust 2.
I mean, it's a completely different squad, right? Not only do you lose your firepower, but you lose your leadership. Nexter was the IGL, he moved away, and yeah, you're obviously going to have identity crisis coming back into a team where 2 of your most important players have been swapped out for 2 completely new guys. So, you know, Ships has certainly looked good in this team, I will say. Emmy has had rough games, but back on Dust 2 just earlier, proving that he is more than capable in this roster. The question is, can that continue? And will it continue? And those questions, Harry, will be answered in just a moment with Nuke coming up here as the second map of the series. You can see Emmy and his stats below. Certainly 19-7 isn't a bad scoreline to go off of.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good look at the resilience of SJ, right? Are they resilient? Can they weather the storm? Can they get through the bad times and focus on the good? Well, that's what we're about to see unfold on our screens. Crazy 1-0 up in this series right now. Winner locking in a semi-final spot. Loser going home. And Nuke will be this second map. It's about to get underway. So let's get into the action.
CT side start for Crazy as well. Talk about making things even better for them. Let's see where SJ want to bring the battle. It's a ramp play. Fast and furious. Double setup here. Ships is waiting, but Otto's on the corner. Letty as well. It's a triple setup. Surprise as these teams go bursting through. Missed shots, but recovered from Letney. And Emmy will assist him as well with a couple more frags. It's just Arvid left, and his entire team gone from the round. Leaves him with no option but go back into the unknown.
Yeah, and while we saw that 1v5 from Jerry with a Glock in this exact position earlier on today, a 1v4 by comparison is easier.
Ooh,
well,
maybe.
First man found. Arvid has been good in these clutches. It's this duel here that is going to be so horrible because he's just baiting you in. They're baiting Arvid to take this peek, and there's the double peek from Crazy in response. They'll deal with him. They group up. They don't make the same mistakes that Furia did earlier on today and give up any one-on-ones there after that initial man falls.
That's not the start you'd want if you're SJ, and I think one point that Maniac made on the desk earlier was that, you know, you've played this map twice in this tournament already. Crazy, they're going to have done their research. I'm sure Neil has looked back at the VODs, and there are, you know, you're going to be using certain rounds the same. Crazy maybe having a bit of a read into some of these T sides, especially that pistol stack on ramp. 3 CTs there, ready for the 5-man push. So the question is, how much familiarity do Crazy have with SJ style on this map, and do they have the solutions to the problems SJ will pose? If we remember yesterday, we had a lot of vent dives from this team. Like a lot of vent dives. A lot of vent dives, Harry. Too many vent dives. And so that needs to be something that Crazy are definitely on top of coming into this matchup.
Yeah, man, it felt like watching a Premier League game with the amount of diving going on. But, you know, thank you. Did a little badum-tus sound effect there. Don't know if that was heard, but we'll see, Hugo. Oh, Otto up from Secret, makes his presence known, gets away with a lot of damage. Letney's spraying that smoke to try and deal some damage to what lies behind. And what lies behind it is this 4-man conga line of Finns. Not known for looking incredibly emotional, but very much known for partying. The conga line, synonymous with a
good time.
With a good time. And let's see if this B-site is a good time. D-kill coming in already for Yampy. One going his way. Back up through the vents they go. But that's just going to put them into the maws of these SMGs. Ships is in with the shotgun. One kill found. Is there any more, though? Oh, my word! He's using the Deagle like a shotgun, and then, oh, it's out of ammo. That was the long con play from Ships.
Yeah.
Wastes all the ammo, and then the vent drop comes in, and he's stuck reloading, looking like a goober.
That would have been good, though. If there was a bullet in there, there's a chance you just one-shot on the vent drop, right? Like, fall in, left-click, get the kill, and then you're in a one-on-one. And that could have been doable, but nice try from Caron, not enough. 2-0 for Crazy, and the force buy falls short for SJ, so more pistols in play as we wait for that lead to get really established on the CT side. Let Crazy get a bit comfortable. Ooh. Arvid trying his hand at the push into the top site will get dropped. Otto has the AWP in garage as well, and he's won his battle. The one-armored player of Yampy is dead in the water, and Caron's been tagged by this AWP as well, so he's going to ditch out of there. Uh-oh, that's a shotgun. We don't want to get closer, but he will bring the range in his favor. Ships getting behind enemy lines into the lobby. Oh, wow, nice shot from Sadix, but you've got a shotgun. What are you going to do with it?
Another kill, but oh, the bomb went down the vent. If this was golf or snooker, that would be phenomenal, but it's not. It's Counter-Strike, and here, that bomb matters, and they've sunk the 8-ball. This one might all be over. Auto shotty not able to find anything. Crazy gonna go 3-0 up. They keep 3 players alive rather, losing Esperanto and Ships. That's an auto shotgun and an MP9 though, so it's really not the end of the world. They'll be reinvesting here, juggling this money around so that SB can have a gun looking to the future. And now we've got this first buy on the cards from SJ. Most notably, not going to feature the AWP on Yampy.
Yeah, but 2 of them on Crazy is a bit of a threat. I'm sure they're expected to be up against an AWP, but Yampy bought armor in the previous round. That's going to get in the way. I think Arvid spotted that player crossing down towards Secret, so one of the 2 AWPs down lower right now. Oh, it's actually Letney, sorry, who crossed down towards B, but the other AWP holding back ramp and outside. SJ holding default inside of lobby right now. They've got a player behind red. That's a chance to get that cross down towards B, but it is being covered by Otto, who has this pixel gap. Hard shot to hit, but fast fingers will be the solution to frags here for Crazy. SJ going back to set up outside smokes as well.
Attempted vent drop is, well, attempted is the operative word there, right? It never comes in. Now Esperanto, this position in the vents becomes even more valuable. I like this little setup, right? Esperanto holding close. If they kill him and go running around this corner, well, Ships is still waiting, patient as ever, with this AWP to lend a helping hand.
Oh, that's so nice. They go right through it. He throws it deep enough that they actually consider committing rather than just falling back. And with 25 seconds, they had to go forward, Harry. They had to commit. And now they still have to go. But that smoke will spell disaster for SJ, maybe looking to save instead. That being said, CR4ZY is still lurking around this lower site. They could hunt these kills. If Esperanto wants, he can just hold W and kill players after time. But CR4ZY giving away a bit of respect here and just would rather take the round. 4-0 lead on this CT side. And SJ with nothing to show for it. Couple of saved guns, but that's really not the position they wanted to be in. They have to get pistols around that. Nice to see Esperanto in the vents, right? We've had a lot of trouble with teams dealing with vent dives at this tournament, and you know, sometimes those mollies don't work. You can easily put them out with smokes and players can just drop down. Well, the best way to know that no one's down B is to be in B yourself, and so Esperanto gets ahead of the drop there. Molly's in once again. Oh dear.
A little bit heartbreaking as well, because that's one of the armored AK'd players dropped in this round, right? And now that AK's had to find its way. Oh my, it's just getting worse and worse by the second. Avert your eyes, look away, because this is disgusting. Finally, a kill comes in favor of SJ. Finally, they've got something to hold on to in this round. But is it any more than a little memento? Is it any more than something bought from the gift shop last minute? Or is this going to lead to something more for SJ Gaming?
And you know, the thing about gift shops, Harry, they always come with a price, a pretty hefty one. And the price in this round is being down in a 3-on-4 and considerably low health on 2 players as well. You really don't have a lot to show for this holiday right now. That's CR4ZY. Just sit back and relax. Ships is waiting on ramp. That molly is going to force RT out, maybe. Ooh, it's getting close. Luckily, he's got health, so he can just sweat in the fire. Nice shot from Otto. Sadly, tries to jump down towards B. It's denied, and Ships does the same down on ramp. He's not even going to drop. He's got a teammate to come back in for support. And Otto, 3rd kill of the round right now. That will be another one for CR4ZY. We didn't really see much from Otto back on Dust 2. I remember at halftime, he had something like 3 deaths or something. And a lot of the time, he just wasn't getting duels. He wasn't getting fights.
And one thing I will say, a lot of the kills that he did get were very high impact. He was always the man trading. Very, very often, those trades would be coming in, you know, 1v1s or things like that. You think about that low, the upper tunnels kill that he gets in like a 2v2 rather. So even though he wasn't incredibly high up on the scoreboard, every single kill he was getting, the impact had real resonating effects for the rest of the game. And so here on Nuke, where we can see him be a bit more proactive with this AWP over on the CT side, he's carrying that kind of urge to frag forward from Dust 2. The rest of the team, they've had their fill. And now it's Otto's turn at the buffet.
We love a good urge, Harry. And well, Yampi's got an urge to throw flashes into the A site for his team. Getting ready to burst through this door. Esperanto, little goblin angle. His head is going to be hidden behind the box because he's trapped close to the corner. And he's got 2 as well. Esperanto holding on to the A site. Molotov coming in from Mini, even though the smoke is down. 2 Molotovs, 3 Molotovs. They are not allowed inside of this site. CR4ZY do not permit it. And now in a 3-on-5 with, again, damage painted across these teams. They have nowhere to go.
Well, there's a kill here for Esperanto, I guess. He's going to actually get them all. He just gets them both. Why not? He's on for the ace. Won't get it, as he doesn't want to share that limelight with anyone. Will get snatched away from him. 6-0 for CR4ZY. We were saying, you know, like looking at Dust 2, we wanted to come into Nuke and feel like those results didn't necessarily matter, considering, you know, this has been a good map for SJ in the past. And I think there was a chance for that to be true, but with CR4ZY now getting off to the same dominant start that they did on Dust 2, I don't know if there's a world in which SJ can bring this back. I mean, it's still relatively early days. But the worry's really setting in now, and we've picked some tense music to really drive that one home.
It's just about breaking that streak, right? It's about getting on the board. As soon as you do, you can feel a weight off your shoulders. Okay, fine, we're in this, let's just remember. But that first round, Harry, that can always be the hardest to get. SJ, they've got to dig deep here. More utility towards the A site, not going for the vent dives, just trying to force out defensive grenades from CR4ZY. No one playing off the back of this, but as I say that, smoke on the fire and a player trying to get down vents. Caron, he will successfully do it. Esperanto is not going to be able to stop him in time. So that's something. Ships is aware of it though. If you're CR4ZY, you've got to be aware of these B drops. So Caron waiting around lower for anything to come his way. But the rest of SJ still have to get an opening kill. They've still got to move out of the lobby. Ramp is a common one to go with if you want to split this B bomb site, but Otto is in position and Letney's already down lower.
There's actually 2 players here right now for CR4ZY. They've doubled up inside of the B bomb site. There's Caron opening things up with that kill onto Esperanto. He was a B site rotation though. He joined the 2 players that already existed here. And so for SJ, that might be a bit of a false flag, a bit of a temptation now to go for this B split, and that is where the majority of these CTs lie. Otto over at ramp, and with a chance, flashed off the angle, has to just back away. He'll concede this to the rest of the squad. Letney and Ships though, this is where the B site defenders can come into their own. However, Zati and Yampi have made quick work of the players here. CR4ZY waiting for Otto, but Otto's one step ahead. And Emmy now coming in as well from Decon, might be able to swing that door open. There's a world in which he catches the timing here. Instead, he's been spotted. They now know where he resides. They know that Otto's coming from ramp, and he'll get deleted by Yampi. 1 kill found, and now just the AWP left to find. Emmy closing the doors, playing with the brain of Yampi. Doesn't know where he's repositioned to. Tap on the bomb, the door is open, and the door is shut on the round for SJ Gaming. CR4ZY gonna get a 7-0 lead under their belts.
Dear, oh dear, nice try from Yampi, but Emmy, man, he is having a series right now. He showed up back on Dust 2, not just a one-trick pony, appearing on this map as well. And a stellar B hold coming in from the likes of CR4ZY. You put that well when you talked about Esperanto being in that B rotation, right? We definitely saw SJ off the back of that pick, willing to rush that lower site, and I don't think they were ready for an already 2-man setup down there on lower after their kill. Really makes matters worse. Those odds don't look good for SJ at this point. Fast play towards the yard for 1. That's Caron. Molotov's come down for CR4ZY to deny a wall of smokes. We do have a vent dive successful in this round, but not much else, Harry, as everyone else is getting stripped limb by limb. CR4ZY is trying to flank this ramp player and get an opening kill to give SJ some positioning, but there's 2 CTs here. Is he aware?
He can hear one of them running around, making a lot of noise. And now dealing with one of them. Otto is just so fast. It's almost remarkable. Another man found on the back of a fast flick 180 from the AWP on CR4ZY. And now CR4ZY alone in the 1v3. He might have ramp. I mean, even then, he doesn't really have ramp. So he's got like he's got a timeshare at ramp. But right now, the other tenants have shown up and they're looking to move on in.
Yeah, he just jumped as well. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it's given away his position. They know he's still here, looking desperately for a kill. That Molotov won't provide much value. It's actually into the smoke immediately. Otto is tagged up, so potential for 1 frag here through the smoke, but Otto swapped out to a shotgun. He's not even using the AWP anymore, and he's just going to get a shot through the smoke. Despicable scenes from Otto. He is hitting some fast flicks, Harry. Realizes he's being flanked on ramp in that round, turns around, then just flicks back to radio and gets the next player with the bomb dropped as well. Really nice stuff from this man. And considering he's finished as well, right, he's definitely got something to show here. Flex on his countrymen.
Oh, they're running towards Otto again, and his mouth is foaming at the chance to get more frags. However, this time they will get down secret. They've gotten past the danger outside. When you dodge one AWP though, it's not uncommon for another to make an appearance. Ships here, always getting pressured. Oh, he's answering the pressure, and he'll pressure back. He shuts down everybody, and Static's finished off as well. CR4ZY, they go flawless in that round, in spite of the chaos, in spite of the overwhelming force that goes pushing down through Secret into the AWP. Everything comes up CR4ZY. A 9-0 score now. They might look to make this one of the fastest 2-0 series we've seen at a DreamHack Open ever.
When we had that pre-game interview, pre-recorded interview show before this series, they were saying that, you know, oh yeah, we warm up slowly into events and like we're here to win it, etc. Well, boy, is that a statement that looks to be true right now. CR4ZY having a bit of a rough opening day, but they have turned it around right here, right now. This is the CR4ZY that is here to win the tournament, and there might not be much standing in their way if they can keep this up. Caron down vents, but they know it. And he's down to 2 HP as well, so not really in pole position to do damage. Oh dear, there's Esperanto going down. Letney should have this kill. He has grenades as well. Even a gust of wind can take down Caron at this point. So Letney re-aggressing, trying to figure out this position as Ship steals with the ramp play. That grenade could be good. Arvid is trying to get out, but he's so low. That kill on B has come through in favor of CR4ZY and everything else as well. The Deagle's out, Ships gets tagged, and he goes down to the AWP. Otto's got one of his own though, back in the ramp room, repositioning up, and he's going to get traded, but it's more than worth its weight in gold. 2-on-2 with the ramp flank coming through, and a player already on B for CR4ZY.
What was that flick? I didn't think Otto was hitting that shot ever. And now a 2-on-2. Okay, yeah, they're able to get the trade immediately, but this has been a few great performances from the individuals on CR4ZY. However, this is the best chance SJ have had at getting around in a long while. And so they will take that all day long. Smoke going to go in to block off Letney. Back in Mini, he's looking for any gaps he can find, and there just isn't one there. Sadly, trigonometry is compulsory in Finnish schools, and so these guys know how to bounce those smokes around. Bomb ticking away. CR4ZY, they've got to pick up the pace a little bit here. They've got kits on both. Smoke on Letney. That's going to get thrown in now. Emmy wrapping Heaven. Could shut this whole round down as long as he's ready for Arvid, and indeed he is. Now just Arte left. 1v2 gets the first. Looking for number 2 now, and Zati spraying away will hold his own. The first round on the board for SJ. And hopefully the first of many to come.
Yeah, right, we talked about this earlier. It's just that first round. You need to break the mold, get into the swing of things, and then you can come alive. It's taken a bit of time to get that first round, but hey, better late than never, I guess. One round to this T side, and it comes down to a 1-on-2, so no real money made for SJ. They've got to buy anyway. They have the AWP on Yampi, but SMG, Galil on Arvid, it's certainly not perfect. Do they want to keep this pace nice and high? Well, CR4ZY certainly do, but maybe not in their favor. Saddy's holding onto the hut, and a double push into lobby from CR4ZY is going to net SJ 2 frags. This is where they can really get going on this T side.
Oh, Letney trying to save the day, trying to be a hero, but it's hard to be a hero when you're getting peppered from all angles. Ships with an MP9, 7.5k by the way, but you know, we won't mention that. He's looking to try and do something here. I hope that, you know, with CR4ZY, the one thing they had to avoid is getting too confident too quickly, right? That's, you don't see it often, but you can always tell whenever it's happened, right? Like, you know, you'll be watching, you'll see them go for a couple of things, and usually, I'm going to tell you the pattern, right? Usually what happens is they throw in a couple, like, fast, kind of ridiculous rounds that shouldn't work, and then they don't. And then like there's that moment where you can tell, normally it's on the back of attack pause, they sit around and they go, all right guys, come on, let's start playing, let's start winning again. And then that winning again just never comes because it's hard to get back into that groove once you've slipped out of it.
Especially when you've given away confidence to the other team, right? SJ, they get 2 free frags off the back of that lobby push. I'm sure they're just going, okay, right, we're in this, guys, we're waking up, we're warming up, let's 9-6 this half, let's get this game going. So if you are CR4ZY, yeah, you've definitely given away some confidence to SJ. But hey, you've got 9 rounds. You're not worried just yet. Nice stuff from Sadix. He gets 4 frags in that one as well. Didn't even see Letney. Didn't need to. Locking down that A site for the Finns. Let's see if they can keep it composed and keep it going. Like you said, MP9 brought up in the previous round for that rotate player. I think it was Ships. And they had the money. So they can properly reinvest here. And hopefully we'll see, yeah, more standard round for Crazy. None of this lobby crunching. Their rotations have been really, really good down towards this lower site as well, so more of that. Double AWP on the T side, damn.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Ooh, those are some fingers. Those were some fingers.
Yeah, not anymore. They've been torn right off. Yampy's all finding the opener. That's what you want to see from SJ. Otto now to try and recover this round. Has Esperanto here outside, and Arvid's going to get removed. This is a much slower round from Crazy. Nothing mental. Esperanto going for this smoke push is the only slightly dangerous thing, and it's pretty dangerous indeed. Sadix was more than ready and waiting for it. Otto now up in heaven with this AWP. He's repositioned. He's kept SJ Gaming guessing.
I would have loved to see Otto flash Esperanto through that smoke. That would have been really, really nice. It definitely could have caught a kill off that, but now it's just left Crazy a man down with the option to be main split. Emmy's trying to watch for it. Awesome, nice shot. He's followed up, 2 kills, and Ships has even come alive with the AWP in hell as well. That's every frag outside, and Yampy's got to do it all. He hits the tag, but the flash is good, and he's going to send him back. More utility landing, and at this point, that's all Crazy needs to do, just delay it. 30 seconds. Yampy being given a kill. Don't want to let him have a way back into this round, though, if you're Crazy. Almost hitting that flick, but not quite. Not quite enough. Crazy 10 rounds. Double digits now taken, despite 2 in a row from SJ, who still will be able to buy up at least. Yeah, they got that all back, so it's not the end of the world. It's not a worry.
And so now, the 13th round underway, and Yampy lining up these outside smokes. Rest of the gang following in tow. Sadix leading away towards outside. Bit of a gap there for Otto to try and exploit. Lucky enough right now, no one going through these outside smokes. They're dodging a bit of a bullet, albeit maybe only momentarily. They're going to reposition as Ships gets that forward foothold over in secret. Still no one really yet to see anything on either side of the equation.
That's about to change though. Oh wow, Molly in heaven. Where on earth did that come from? That was actually thrown from T-Roof over. Unbelievable. SJ coming in with some interesting things. There's the flank from Ships up secret. No one's watching it. He gets a free kill. Yampy up close, doesn't matter. Ships for the second, finally getting traded by Caron. That's an opportunity for SJ. They've opened up their path to the B site if they want it. And it didn't seem like they did with the heaven wrap coming through. Yampy and Caron, sorry, just Caron trying to climb up into upper, but Otton is already here with the AWP, and this should be a shot he nails. We've already seen his flicks, and he'll land yet another one. Bomb dropped in main. Sati trying to drag them out of this round, and he gets 2 kills. If he gets the bomb, goes down towards B, there's a chance, but he's being wrapped, and he doesn't know it. Emmy finishing off the situation for Crazy, and 11-2 on this CT side with no signs of slowing down.
And it's such a shame for SJ, right? They're finally able to break the mold, as you say. They get those first few on the board, and then, as has often been the case, there's just so many players who individually can haul these rounds back in the favor of Crazy. It was Otto in the round before last, and real team effort in the previous. Now, fast drop in towards the vents. They do get a man in there. Ships is over at ramp, but he's getting pressured. Good for 2 at the very, very least. And these AWPs are just working in tandem. If you find one, you'll find the other hidden in some horrible little kingdom you never knew existed. And now just Arvid left. AWP's gonna miss the first shot, but not the second. Otto and Ships do it all. All 5 kills coming from the big green guns. And I mean, you're just getting out AWP'd at this point.
Last map it was Letney and Emmy. This map it's Ships and Otto. Obviously the rest of them are still having fantastic games as well. Emmy's actually, got more kills than Ships, so definitely deserves a mention. Letney's 4-on-4, mate. He's not even seeing anyone. And this is just absolute fantastic stuff from CR4ZY. You know, the AWPs are great, but another noteworthy thing is these rotations to get the AWPs in the right positions, right? We have one down on ramp, Ships gets a kill, he gets another one with a USP, and then instantly Otto's there, the second Ships is dead to get a refrag. Doesn't let a kill from SJ go untraded. Always on top of this, and with a chance to 13-2 the half after this tactical pause. SJ have everything in the bank though. They have an AWP, they've got Krieg, and a few AKs as well, but it's not really been the money that's been the problem for SJ this game.
The most mental thing is usually this double AWP, the way, hang on a minute, this could be a bit of a faster round, so we'll save this one. We'll put a pin in it for now. See if we get a second, because they're stacking up outside of the hut. They've got a player by Squeaky. They peek on in and they lose that first fight. Are they going to try and follow up with any more? Now would be the time to go, as Emmy had that nade out, but instead they leave it just a second longer and he'll catch a lot of damage, and with it, maybe even the round. Yampy left up alone and he'll get put in the ground. CR4ZY 13-2 once again, incredibly dominant here, this time on Nuke, the map pick of SJ. And, well, Super Yimmy, they might not be able to make this comeback happen. This might be dead to rights. Join us and see if they can after a quick break.
An absolute domination in the first half of Nuke. CR4ZY sitting 13-2 up against Super Jimmy on their map pick. Yes, you heard that right. It's the Finns' choice, and they choose to lose, potentially, unless they can pull this back on the pistol round. CT side, at the very least, gives them something to play with, but yeah, 2 rounds in 1 half, not going to be a great start. That is, though, quick kill from Sadix in towards the lobby, takes down Ships. CR4ZY looking like they wanted to burst into this A site, but with that kill, they might reconsider.
Oh my goodness, Sadix is continuing his little reign of terror. He'll pluck another one from this round before all is said and done. Oh, Yampy, not too convincing there. Gets a bit of damage, but Letney is able to deal with him pretty promptly. Only 2 players left though. Sadix has taken this pistol round into his own. He will get snuffed out by Otto. And this now 2-on-3, still a chance for CR4ZY in this round. Otto's been such a star in this second half. Letney has even bypassed this ramp and is trying to come in on the flank around now from behind. Won't go up the ladder instead, trying to... Oh my goodness, how's he managed that? How's he done it? I don't know. Otto, he's been holding heaven. Oh, he's going to get another. There's just 180s after 180. We've gone full circle. And now Arvid, 1v2, up through the vents, looking for either one of these frags. This was a round that SJ had in the bag, and it's up and left them. Arvid's missed the shot, and Otto in with a bunch of frags alongside Letney, 5 between them. And my word, CR4ZY are going to get that pistol round in which they were 2v5.
That is unbelievable. That, like, what a couple of shots from Otto, and Letney outside as well. That flick back after he's climbing heaven. He was down to red health, and he still gets a shot. I mean, impressive stuff. CR4ZY individually are looking phenomenal right now. And this just doesn't feel like the SJ we saw on day 1. They may be up against tough opposition, Harry, but even so, these guys do not look like, they look like a shell of their former selves. I mean, 2 rounds. Need I say more? CR4ZY have gotten down the vents. They've got a man in the enemy's base. SJ are going to rotate Yampy down ramp to B with that scout, but what can he do with no armor versus these SMGs? They can be so dangerous. Arvid, good timing on that push, but doesn't get the kill. Ships is going to bail and just give him the lobby. He has no interest in holding on to that. CR4ZY have the bomb down B. Got control towards vents. They have no need to fight for the top site right now where 4 players of SJ sit.
The setup from SJ is very, very interesting though, right? A lot of focus on having players over here towards ramp. So they're going to be able to come in very, very fast on these rotations. Yampy's already down at the B bomb site. You haven't seen nor heard anything anywhere else on the map. The problem I'm seeing, though, is with vent control taken by CR4ZY, if they catch wind of this heavy ramp presence and also with a player clearing out the A bomb site, they can just go up the vents and try and change their course in this one. And that could be the decision.
There's no one there. Sadix is in the lobby, which is obviously a great position if they do go up the vents for the retake, but he won't be able to stop them planting if that is the plan. And yeah, it is. They go up, but Sadix spots it. He gets the kill. Also with the trade, such an important frag for CR4ZY to get. Now they can plant on that top site. The plan all along working out. Ships has even cut off this rotate through heaven. Good night, Yampy, as CR4ZY just one step ahead, man. The brains are too big. And this is surely a 15th round. The MAC-10s, a symphony of death right now on this A site. And Arvid is the only man standing.
And with this one going the way of CR4ZY, with them picking this up, they are just 5 kills away from locking in a semi-final spot and sending SJ Gaming home in an incredibly dominant fashion, right? Talk about making a statement before you get into the semi-finals. This best of 3 felt like it only began 25 minutes ago, and it's already about to be over.
Yeah, there's one more round. That's all it's going to take here. And SJ, they've been forcing all game long, and not because of bad decision-making, because of lack of money. It's lack of rounds. They haven't had the economy to play with. They haven't had the orbs. They haven't had the rifles, and this will be no exception to that rule. A couple of SMGs, a shotgun, a pistol, and a scout up against elimination. That's just how the cookie crumbles, though, Harry. Fast play in the yard for CR4ZY, down through B already, just seconds in. SJ, they got to watch out for those vents. Could be another topside rotation, but no need for CR4ZY. There's only one man on this lower site, it's Zate. So if they can find him, that opens a big chance of them getting this bomb down. And only one kit for the retake, rather, can make things very rough.
Yeah, he's going to play close to the doors, so that if these open, they'll open inwards. And he's got a good chance there of doing something with this 5-7. Man, CR4ZY is so patient. They're just waiting. They've got the bulk of their players down here at B, all bar one. There's Zate's 5-7 coming in for 1 kill, but that is all it's going to ring out. They spot the man, they trap him with that Molotov, and it's either roast or go into the guns, and he makes a decision. Everyone's been cut down, and it's only Sadix left. 1v4 required to keep the dream alive, and it already feels like this dream is well and truly crushed. CR4ZY will take it. They take the series in such a dominant fashion, such a fast best of 3. And they don't even let SJ get so much as what, like 5 rounds in total? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's not the kind of game I expected to come into today, right? We know that CR4ZY are definitely a contender to win this event, but that is one hell of a game, Harry. That is a dominant series, and that really sets a precedent now moving forward for this team. I can't wait to see what CR4ZY can do moving forward into those semis and potentially that grand final here of DreamHack Winter for Super Jimmy. They gave it their all, at least. They had a good first day, rough performance here on Nuke and Dust, but you've got at least a learning experience, and these are such young players, or at least some of them over for the side of SJ, so you have to give them that. They tried their best, but it was not enough.
Yeah, and that's just the story of it, right? At the end of the day, CR4ZY, they have the experience, they're great individuals, and it does feel like they're warming up throughout this event, as they say they so often do.
And they've got Neil M, so
and they've got
kind of an unfair advantage.
Luck of the Irish coming in hot there.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the analyst S. Let's see what they thought of that one. Nice and quick to send us home early, eh, gents?
Yeah, we're done. Gents and lady. Thanks. Oh, well, they're gone. Move. Poof.
Not even time to say
right? They want to go home. They're already out.
They just, I see them leaving the studio right here. Harry, ciao. No?
I looked as if they actually were there, man. You tricked me. Guys, this was kind of incredible. 16-2 maps 1 and 2. We expected, of course, CR4ZY to maybe have a bit of an edge. SJ had only played Nuke to get to this point, but I don't think anybody anticipated CR4ZY to come in this quickly and close things down. And I don't think anybody expected Emmy to be performing the way he did.
Definitely not. And I mean, I think the first map on Dust 2 it perfectly illustrated it. Me and Matthew were watching and wondering, man, Otto is 1-0. The score is 9-0.
9 rounds, yeah.
He didn't have to do much on that first map. It was all about Emmy, it was all about Lenny, and of course, we can't forget Esperanto. But man, it's so nice to have your teammates just step up so hugely and you just kind of coast your way to that semifinals. CR4ZY have got to be feeling on a very much high right now.
I am.
Esperanto just came out with an interview saying that when Hunter and Nexa departed this team, that they, quote, lost almost all the firepower. And when he says something like that, you kind of realize, like, yeah, Emmy coming in from coach to player is a bit of a challenge, and we'd talked about him, and he'd been self-critical about it, but that right there is the kind of performance, albeit versus SJ, but still, it does put him very clearly above players of at least that caliber.
No, absolutely, and I think we both have to keep in mind who they played against, but at the same time, we can be excited, we can be amazed by the performance, right? He did play amazingly. I'm talking about Emmy, obviously. Now, we knew coming into this game that CR4ZY had two speeds, two gears. Either they're slow, they don't really know what to do, or they completely destroy you. That was clearly the later one here, but yeah, I mean, they were so good. It wasn't even about tactics anymore. Everyone was in flow states, winning all the duels, all the clutches, all the openings. They had everything for them.
It seemed like they had won that before it even really got started. We were going to bring Neil M back in for another interview. Neil, was that the easiest game that you've ever played on LAN, or what? These boys have played, to be fair.
Second 2-0 we've ever done since we made this team.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually win a game comfortably. It's actually the first ever time we've comfortably won a game. So it's a nice feeling to finally not be shit at times.
And not just a stomp on Dust 2 either, but Nuke as well. And that's where we kind of, us at least, were giving praise to SJ. It's all we had seen from them. And I want to ask, since that's all we saw from SJ coming into this series, when they went for that Nuke pick, were you worried at all?
No, we were laughing. We were so happy that they picked Nuke because they only have 2 fins. Like, they love to try and go down the vents, and when they can't fall to that, they do 4 secret. They had nothing really in their playbook that we didn't recognize, you know. So it was very obvious from people that we see in smokes and flashes, as you see. We were I think we did a lot of utility damage to them before they were even getting out the door, for example. So yeah, it was very easy to counter them, to be honest, on Nuke. We've worked a lot on that map since every team keep picking it against us in best of 3s. But yeah, it was nice to actually play good on Nuke.
Amazing. I just had a question about Emmy. I'm going to be honest, I have been critical against him, to be fair. That's a big challenge from him to go from coach to player. Where do you think he is right now in his evolution as a player? Do you think he will improve more in short term, or is that his final level? Where do you see him?
No, Emmy, over the year when I wasn't on the team, he was playing Face It every single day. He was waiting to come back as player. He was gagging to come back. I think we knew that he had the skill, but obviously he didn't have match time, right? So more and more match time, he gets more and more comfortable. He's not at times he panics as an IGL at times, which is not a bad thing, but the more experience he's getting in, the more comfortable he is, and when he's more comfortable, he plays better individually. So yeah, just more and more time for him, and he'll be a solid player. He already is. He played really good against SJ today, but tomorrow is the real day against the bigger teams.
How involved are you in the freeze times? Because we know in DreamHacks you're able to communicate with your team in those freeze times, not only in those tacks. So what all are you saying to kind of get your team into the moment?
As a coach of this team, I'm struggling a little bit to have massive impact at the moment. I don't really know, I can't pinpoint the reasons why, but I'm just trying to remind people if we're doing the strat what we need to watch out for, what we need to do, example like that, but I'm not bringing my strats in to help. I'm trying to do simple stuff that we can pick, example, good spawn, what works online. I could say, look, we could do this and work off that. For example, against Heroic, we changed that a lot on 13-13, so I felt I was good there, but I'm disappointed in myself since I've come in impact-wise in this team, tactical-wise. So that's a thing that I'm going to look at when I go home and try and bring more impact into this team.
That's good. I mean, I know you have some good relationships with some of these players already, so I think that to give you credit, from my opinion, man, I think you do get the best out of some of these people, so don't sell yourself short, man.
Yeah, I think I have a special connection with these guys. I've been their friends for so long, and even when I was in Greyhound, for example, I was always speaking to SB every day, and next to when he was in the team, and hanging out with him during the major, that was just gone. So yeah, like I said, I've always had a special connection with these guys, and I've always wanted to be in this team, to be honest, since I was left behind from the Imperial last year when they went to Valiance. That was a low point in my career, and yeah, I built myself back up to be in this great team, and I'm just really happy that every time people are trash talking us and feel we're down and out, we come back. Rotterdam, we lost to Havu. We got smashed by Godsend. No one expected us to beat Heroic today.
Nope.
We won.
Yeah, I was going to say, we didn't. Not at all, man. Not after yesterday.
People expected us to just lose on Nuke. We smashed them. Like, we're proving the Delta's wrong yet again, and tomorrow is where we shine and where we will really deliver. Yeah, well, it's late here, so I just want to ask one last question, and that is, tomorrow you guys play versus Tricked, and just very quickly, like, what do you think of them as a team and an opponent? They're a very, very good team, and very underrated, honestly. Like, Condon is a god at, like, bringing young talent in for the last 3 years, and now he's finally, like, has some stability now with these young guys, so they're a very strong team, but I told them before this game that we were going to smash SJ. That's what we've done. And tomorrow we're coming for them and sending another Danish team home. Yeah, nice. Well, listen up, man. I like to kick you guys when you're down a little bit. I like to push you so that you are coming back as your best. And I am so happy to see you guys just fly through SJ like this. Well-deserved win, well-deserved rest. Go get some sleep, man. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you very much. All right, guys. There we have it. We've got Crazy back into the playoffs, where they were in Rotterdam before they picked up their win, where they were in Atlanta before they fell short to Sprout, and where they are now with questions to be answered tomorrow. But we've got all the answers we can out of the games today. We're done here. We still have a little bit more content to get through. How about the top 5 plays of the day?
And with play number 5, we've got Marshak versus Fours here, and it's this player, Manti. We kind of spoke about him highlighting the plays coming out of Marshak, and it's right here, 1 versus 3 on this Nuke. He's able to get that defuse and close out that round.
And as number 4, we have CR4ZY actually showing how you can defend the A side all by yourself. You don't need any teammate. No. What you need is them for a Krieg and a Dream. Yeah, number 3, Crazy versus Heroic. It's Letney at bat. All these players sent scrambling in the upper halls. He pieces this one out with a 10-second 4K.
And with play number 2, once again, it's Marshak versus Fours, and once again, it's this man, Manti, except this time he brings out an ace on that Nuke. This 5K with that Krieg, he just makes it look real easy. You gotta appreciate that, right? The way he's aimed, switches from one zoom to the other. But finally, we have Jerry the God in a 1 versus 5, showing why you should not peek a Glock. That's a bad idea. Short term, you should not do that. Just keep your distance, because he's gonna smash you, and that's what he did. 1 versus 5, that was amazing. Yeah, Jerry all day. Jerry.
I like to hope that he loves that deep down, but he's still, he's got a little shy.
I think we need to explain it to him.
Yeah, right. Jerry, I'm not making fun of you. I'm rooting for you, man. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the playoff bracket just so we know exactly what's on the menu for tomorrow. And it is scrumptious looking. Godsent 2-0 versus Fours, and then Tricked 2-0 versus Crazy on the other side of this one. This is an exciting playoff bracket. Maniac, do you have any quick thoughts? Anything you want to say about it? Yeah, very exciting. I mean, the fact that Crazy isn't there and Heroic is not is my big surprise. Okay. I like Needham's interview. I think he's very aware of the fact that Tricked is going to be a different kind of opponent as SJ. No disrespect to them, but Crazy there will need to bring their A game, because Tricked, they are clients for real. And I'm ready to see Crystal on Godsend. On day 1, he was on fire. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to bring it on Championship Sunday. Hopefully he does. Here's the thing. We talked about the 2-0 fashion, or the 2 maps of SJ both being on Nuke. We weren't quite sure what more they had to offer, and then we see them in a BO3 and it kind of falls. So I, just like you, Potter, I'm very excited to see Godsent in particular. I want to see Crystal replicate that. I want to see Michael tested. If he has to throw in some big clips, some big rounds, who knows? And also Tricked. I think I have more stock in them because they're a much more known quantity. But again, it's just 2 BO1s we've seen from these 2 teams. I wouldn't have pegged them as the 2-0 victors, but that's what they are, and that's what we'll have tomorrow. That's it. Tomorrow, because everything else here is done tonight, my friends. We do have, of course, before we go, the most important part of the show is giving credit where it's due. A massive thank you to the sponsors that make this show possible. The passion that is CS just comes through us all. And that's why I tip my hat to Monster Energy, Corsair, and of course, nice cacti. Oof, they make the world go round. But that's it. That's it from me. That's it from the desk. That's it from our beloved casters. And so, let's just get out of here, guys. We'll get the show started early tomorrow with the playoffs. 25 years of DreamHack and yet another here in Jönköping. It's a pleasure. Goodbye.